Of all the confounding results in this past election, perhaps the strangest phenomenon was the surprising number of people who voted for Democrats down ballot and then checked off Donald Trump for president.
They're seeing people like Elon Musk getting tax breaks and kissing up to Donald Trump in order to do so.
But they vote for, then why vote for Elon Musk and Donald Trump?
And I think that, of course, is the question.
It makes no sense.
On an episode of The Readout, Joy Reid brought on Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to solve the puzzle of why Americans voted for Donald Trump. AOC attempts to explain why voters feel furious at the establishment and why they voted the way they did. Let's take a look.
When it comes to people who split their ticket, I think a lot of people cited several different things. One is there is universal frustration in this country, much of it I actually think justified, that is raging at a political establishment that centers corporate interests, billionaires, and puts their needs ahead of the needs of working Americans. And we know that we can either channel this righteous rage, because there are people whose SNAP was cut off, their child tax credits were cut off, but they're seeing people like Elon Musk getting tax breaks and kissing up to Donald Trump in order to do so.
But they vote for, then why vote for Elon Musk and Donald Trump?
And I think that, of course, is the question.
It makes no sense.
Now let's watch as AOC tries to untangle this contradiction. What's fascinating to me is how someone with liberal views like hers tries to analyze a situation that seems to completely escape their understanding. Let's take a look.
It doesn't matter that he's lying. He's saying that I'm fighting for you. In all of this debate that people are talking about with this woke thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's because we care about trans people, and that's why.
And by the way, only Donald Trump cared about trans people, right, because he was the one running $130 million worth of ads. The Harris campaign said nothing about this issue.
That's right. That's right. And listen, the ads, it's not to even deny the fact that these ads were effective in certain areas. What I think people are paying too much attention to is the first half of that ad, which says Kamala Harris is, or that said, Kamala Harris is for they, them. Everyone's focusing on that. They're not focusing on the second half of that ad, where he said, Donald Trump is for you.
Yeah.
And Democrats very often in their messaging, they speak in terms and in concepts and not in the second person. I care about you.
AOC's take on this situation just shows how out of touch she really is. She claims Trump's appeal comes from him saying, I'm fighting for you, even if he's lying, and she misses the point entirely. The truth is, many voters aren't buying into Democratic messages because it often comes across as detached, focusing on abstract ideas rather than directly addressing people's concerns. Joy Reid and AOC keep spinning the same narrative, blaming Trump ads, racism, or misogyny for Kamala Harris's unpopularity. But they completely ignore the real issue, the Democratic Party's policies and priorities. People see through it. They know these policies don't work for them. Instead of focusing on the needs of the voters, the Democrats are more concerned with their donors and maintaining their own power. Until they accept this reality, they'll continue to lose ground. The problem isn't the voters, it's the party's failure to connect and deliver. Joy Reid and AOC just don't get it, and their liberal mindset prevents them from facing the truth.
They left out the most critical part. That's why it's so frustrating. AOC said, people are tired of folks representing billionaire donors, and that's what Republicans do. But the part they left out is, so do the Democrats. So she made it seem like it was a messaging problem. But I got less issues with AOC. She said some good things there. More issues with Joy Reid being shocked. Like, oh my God, why would they, if they're in favor of the donor class and billionaires, why would they vote against the Democrats? Are you serious? The Democrats brag about how they're for the donors. Kamala Harris said, I got 90 corporate CEOs. I got 90 corporate CEOs. They signed a letter and Mark Cuban, go on TV. Mark Cuban's like, oh, she loves corporations. Now, don't that price gouging thing, we didn't mean any of that. The housing prices, oh, who cares about housing prices? She loves corporate CEOs. She loves Liz Cheney. She loves Dick Cheney. Okay, and you think the Democrats don't do, where do you think they got the $1 billion? A lot of grassroots donations, definitely. But tons and tons of corporate donors, billionaire donors, and then it turns out there's gambling in this establishment. Okay, so and AOC was right about one thing. Now notice, look, I'll throw shade at her too in a second, okay, because our job is to be fair, okay? But she was right. She's like, at least he said he was for you. I mean, Kamala Harris would say like lines like, oh, we're for you, but she wouldn't back it up. Right, so Trump would be like, oh, they're for this, and they're for the immigrants, they're for the trans people. Now notice, he didn't go after corporate donors either, right? Because he also takes massive money from donors, including the biggest billionaire in the world, Elon Musk, right? So, but our side takes it from George Soros and other people. And not just Soros, it's now a minor factor, et cetera. So, but at least Trump played the role of a populist. And that's why I called him a fake populist 2,000 times, right? But Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party never even bother to pretend to be populist. Instead, they brag about how pro-corporate they are. And then Joy Reid is flummoxed after the election that, oh my God, why would anybody vote against Democrats if they're against billionaires and donors? I mean, and that's the other part of it is, I cannot believe they've never been online. But apparently they've never been online. Like that idea has never even crossed their minds. That's unreal. And to look, so I'm glad AOC did what she did when she tried to find out, hey, why did you vote for me and Trump at the same time? We've only been saying it for 20 years, but anyway, okay, I'm glad she came to that, and that's helpful, and she's getting the message out. But if you noticed, she stops at the water's edge, and that's what drives me crazy about her. A lot of things are good. I'll take it much better than a lot of others in Congress. Happy to have it in that regard. But at the water's edge is saying, but the Democrats also take the money, stop taking the money. And she doesn't, AOC doesn't, she doesn't take corporate PAC money, right? But criticizing her colleagues is a red line they never cross. And that's why the Democratic Party never gets fixed, because we never have an honest conversation about it. Was that conversation honest? Not really, no. They landed on, oh, that's so weird, I guess the American people are wrong. Incorrect answer, Nina.
The problem isn't just that Democrats take massive amounts of money from corporate donors, they all do, but that their policies consistently fail to resonate with working Americans. Trump may not be a true populist, but he at least communicates directly to voters in a way that feels personal and relatable, while Democrats like Kamala Harris often appear detached and overly reliant on abstract rhetoric. Voters want action, not slogans. What AOC and others refuse to admit is that the American people aren't wrong for rejecting Democratic policies. They're simply tired of being ignored. The focus on corporate money as the root cause of political failure misses the bigger picture. Democrats alienate voters with policies that prioritize ideological goals and elite interest over practical solutions to everyday struggles. Until the left engages honestly with these criticisms, they'll continue losing ground to leaders who, at the very least, understand the value of speaking directly to the concerns of everyday Americans. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more insights. Your support helps us keep these important discussions going. Thanks for watching.